Hello, kids! Let's have fun and magic with our unicorn friend. This is our video lesson presentation in dividing fractions and mixed numbers. A fraction is a way to describe a portion from a whole. A single unit represented by number 1 can be divided in multiple portions, where each of these portions represents as a part of the whole. In this lesson, you will learn the fundamental skills in dividing fractions. Your skills in multiplying fractions is quite applicable here. In this lesson, you are expected to determine the steps in dividing simple fractions and mixed forms. Second, divide simple fractions and mixed forms accurately. And third, you have manifest accuracy in solving number problem. Before we proceed, check yourself if you already have these skills. Do you know how to express fractions in simplest form? Do you know the relationship between mixed numbers with improper fractions? Have you mastered how to multiply fractions? Well, if you answered yes to these questions, you are good to go. If not, consider doing a review on these important basic skills. Knowing the understanding of fractions are very important skills in performing basic operation with it. Your knowledge about fractions is an important skill in mathematics. It is applicable in everyday life. So let's have a short pretest. Children, please do prepare your activity notebook and your pen. Are you ready? Okay, you may start. You're going to choose the answer from the given choices. Just simply write the letter of the correct answer in your activity notebook. Okay, done with 1 to 5. We'll proceed to 6 to 10. Take your time in solving. I guess you're done. Let's check. So here's the answer key. Please do check your answer. And please do not forget to write the score on the upper right side of your notebook. Good, you're done. Kids, your pretest serves as your self-assessment. Which items are easy for you? Which items are challenging? The challenging ones are those that you need to learn in this lesson. Don't you worry, you have to find out how to solve them and come back to try this again. Okay, deal? You are going to learn with this lesson. So let's begin with this. Dividing means to cut or split into equal parts or portions. In the process of dividing, it is possible that the quotient is an exact whole unit or may come with an exist where fractions become involved in the process. Here are some basics you should recall about division. So you have there the parts of division equation. This is very important. The first fraction is what you call the dividend. The second is the divisor. And of course, the answer is called quotient. The equation asked, how many two-thirds are there in 3/5? The answer, that's the quotient, is 9/10. It simply means 9/10 times 2/3 is 3/5. Therefore, division is the reverse process of multiplication. But how do you do the process in division here? We're going to proceed and find out. In dividing fractions, the following skills will be very helpful. First, expressing fractions into simplest form. That's very important. Second, expressing mixed numbers into improper fractions and vice versa. You need to know the steps in multiplying fractions. Can you still recall on how to multiply fractions? Good. And lastly, expressing fraction into its reciprocal. Are you new with the word reciprocal? So what is a reciprocal? A reciprocal fraction is found by flipping. It is the numerator and denominator are swapped. Multiplying a fraction by its reciprocal always gives us 1. Two numbers whose product is 1 are reciprocals. Examples, you have 4/7 and 7/4. If you're going to multiply that, it will always give us the answer of 1. To find the reciprocal, all you need to do is write the number as a fraction and then flip-flop the numerator and the denominator. So let's have some drill. You practice. You're going to give the reciprocal of the following fractions. So children, please do prepare your activity notebook for our drill. Are you ready? So please do number it from 1 to 5. Okay, let's start. Give the reciprocal of 6/9. Remember, you are going to swap the numerator. You have to flip. So the reciprocal of 6/9 is 9/6. Next, 11/15. What is the reciprocal of 11/15? You're done flipping? So your answer is 15/11. And how about 23? Whole number 23. How are you going to flip it? Do something. Do magic. But on the right track. So the reciprocal of whole number 23 is 1/23. Remember, all whole numbers have denominator 1. So if you flip that, it is 1/23. Let's have the fourth one. 1/45. Flip, flip, flip. So the reciprocal is 45/1. And for the last, oh, it's a mixed number. 2 and 1/3. How are you going to flip it? So you will just only need the top number and the bottom number. What are you going to do with the side number? Are you going to throw that away? No, 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 no. That's not magic. It's magic and fun. Doing on the right track. Of course. So now the reciprocal is 3/7 because your 2 and 1/3 is 7/3. Improper fraction. And the reciprocal is 3/7. Did you get all correct answers? If not, please do practice. Now we have the steps. So, going there. Oh, you have 3 words, very important. Same as multiplication. Now in division, you need to remember the key. The K stands for keep, the C for change, and the F for flip. How are you going to do that? Let's try this. So we have the steps in dividing fractions. So let's start with the keep. It means keep the first fraction. So giving this example, a over b divided by c over d, I mean. So keep the first fraction the same. So a over d will just simply a over b will just be simply a over b. Then change the division sign to multiplication sign. Okay, did you follow? Now, for flip, you have to flip the second fraction over to write the reciprocal. So reciprocal, you're going to swap the numerator and the denominator. So your numerator c will become your denominator. And the denominator d will be your numerator. Did you get it? Yes, it's very excited to do more activities. And let's have more example. Okay, let's take this. 7 over 8 or 7/8 divided by 4/5. So simple fractions. You are going to do the K. Stands for keep. You are going to keep the first fraction. And how about the C? It is change. You're going to change the division sign into multiplication sign. And for F is flip. You're going to flip the second fraction or just simply get the reciprocal of the second fraction. So your 4/5 becomes 5 over 4. Then after which, you're going to apply the multiplication rule. Can you still remember the first step? Okay, you're going to multiply the top numbers and second, multiply the bottom numbers. And of course, the third is simplify. So multiply the top number. 7 times 5 is 35. 8 times 4, which are the bottom numbers, is 32. And 35 over 32. Yes, it is improper fraction. So we need to change that into mixed number. So 35 divided by 32 gives us a quotient 1, a remainder 3, and of course the denominator, which is 2. So 3 and 32 don't have any common factors. So meaning to say our 1 and 3 over 32 is already our final and simplified answer. Do you have any questions? So let's have more examples so that you are going to master this lesson. Let's try this problem situation. Marlon has 5 melons. He divided it into fourths. How many fourths are there in 5? Okay, so this time let's solve the given problems one by one with a brief discussion and of course with the visual model so that I can convince you that we are doing the right track. So 5 divided by 1/4, you're going to multiply the dividend and the reciprocal of the divisor. So whole number 5, you have to make it 5 over 1. Then change the division sign into multiplication sign. And you're going to flip the second fraction. 1/4 will be 4 over 1. Then let's multiply the numerators and the denominators. 5 times 4, 1 times 1. So we have 20 over 1. And of course, don't forget to simplify because 20 divided by 1 is 20. So now let's focus here in our visual model. So assuming this 5 are the melons and Marlon divided it into fourths. So correct. Each melon had been divided into fourths. Now, the question, how many fourths are there in 5? So, is it 20? So we have 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 4 we have 12, another 4 we have 16, and the final 4 is 20. So there are 21 fourths in all for the 5 shaded circles or the melons. Are you convinced now? Let's have the test too. May Ann bought 2/4 cake from her neighbor. She gave it equally to her 2 brothers. How much share did each one get? So let's have the equation. 2/4 divided by 2. So our 2 is now a whole number. We are going to change that into fraction by writing a denominator 1. Then we are going to apply the KCF. Keep, change, and flip. Did you follow? Now, multiplication rule. Multiply the top numbers, multiply the bottom numbers. So we have 2 over 8. And simplify. The GCF of 2 and 8 is 2. Divide that to both numerators and denominator. So we have an answer of 1/4. Final and simplified answer. So let's move to task 3. Jerry can complete a model ship in about 4 1/4 hours. He works on his model for 1 1/2 hours each day. At this rate, how many days should it take him to complete the model? So equation, 4 1/4 hours divided by 1 1/2 hours each day. So they are both mixed numbers. We have to change that first to improper fractions, correct? So 4 times 4 plus 1, you have 9, and copy denominator 4. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 equals 3. Copy denominator 2. Now let's apply the key CF. You have to keep the first fraction. You have to change the division sign to multiplication, and you are going to flip the second fraction. The reciprocal of the second fraction, 3/2 will be 2/3. Now apply multiplication rule. So multiply the top numbers. 9 times 2 is 18. And the bottom numbers, 4 times 3 is 12. And lastly, simplify. So 18 divided by 12 will be 1. And the remainder 6, and copy your denominator, which is 12. In this case, 6 and 12 has common factor. So we have to simplify further. So GCF 6 divided by GCF 6, 6 divided by 6 is 1, 12 divided by 6 is 2, and of course you're going to affix the whole number, and don't forget to write your label, R's. So the final and simplified answer is 1 1/2 R's. So do you have any questions? Did you follow? So it just the same as multiplication. You're just going to manipulate something. You have to do something. You have to tickle the numbers so that you can apply multiplication method. That's interrelation. The multiplication and division of fractions are related to each other. Now, we have to move on. Hooray! You're ready for your activity. Let's have your activity 1. So this time, I'm going to give you 4 minutes to work on this. Children, Careful with your computation. Don't forget the steps and the reciprocal. Do it step by step so that you will not get lost. Write your answer on your activity notebook and make your solution neat. So let's check. Here's the answer key. Check your answer, and if it's wrong, do it again until you arrive with the correct answer. Don't forget to write your score. Let's have another one. Read each item carefully and do what is asked. So this time I'll be giving you 3 minutes for this. Careful, careful. So let's check. Number 1, you have B. Number 2, A. Number 3 is D. Number 4, it's C. And number 5, it's also C. I hope you got 5. So it is assessment time. Make sure that you are going to think and to give the correct answer so that the bulb will not burst. Kidding. Just joking, kids. So relax and get ready with your assessment. Pen and paper. Go. Okay. Proceed to 7 to 10. Write your final answer. And you have to check your answer. Write the score on the top right part of your notebook. There you have it. Good job, kids. So for your additional activity, this will be turned in our Google Classroom. You're going to divide the numbers below here. You have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to divide this. And use the decoder here. We have here the decoder to write the corresponding letters and get the secret word. So this is, I think, 20 points. So sample for your clarification. So this is your answer for number 3, for number 5, for number 1, number 4, and number 2. For example, if your answer in number 3, 6 and 2/5 divided by 3 and 2/10 is 1 and 2/3. So this letter O, you're going to write it here. O. Then go with number 5, number 1, number 4, and number 2. At the end of that, if you're going to complete these 5 letters, you can have the secret word. Okay, so how fun! Hooray, this is fun, right? Kids, thank you. If you have any questions, you can find me at Clivy Sevilla. Have fun and bye!